The sun was already setting on a dusty roadside in the Philippines. A small carinderia sat quietly beside the highway, its plastic chairs empty, its radio playing an old love song that sounded almost forgotten. 5 bikers slowed their engines and parked. Their bikes were loud, powerful, symbols of freedom. They laughed, ordered coffee, and talked about the road ahead. Then, a soft voice cut through the noise. "Sir, excuse me po." They turned. A woman stood there, barefoot, thin, holding onto an old, rusted bicycle. One pedal was missing. The chain sagged like it might fall apart any second. Her hands shook as if she was afraid even to speak. She bowed her head slightly, the Filipino way. "Buy my bike, sir, kahit konti lang po." "Even just a little, sir." One biker smiled awkwardly. Another looked away. Then she whispered the words that froze the air. "Mommy hasn't eaten in 2 days." The laughter died instantly. One biker noticed her eyes. Not begging, not greedy, just tired. So tired. The kind of tired only people who carry their whole family on their shoulders understand. "Nasaan ang tate mo?" One biker asked gently. "Where is your husband?" Her lips trembled. "Wala na po. He's gone." She hugged the bicycle closer, as if it were her child. A passing jeepney honked. Life moved on. But for the bikers, time stood still. One of them crouched down to her level. "Magkano ang bike?" "How much for the bike?" She hesitated. "Kahit anyo po, basta may makain lang si mommy." "Anything, just so my mother can eat." The bikers exchanged looks. This wasn't about money anymore. This was about dignity. About a daughter choosing hunger over letting her mother starve. One biker quietly took off his helmet. His eyes were wet. "Hindi naman bibilhan ang bike mo, pero tutulungan ka naman." "We won't buy your bike, but we will help you." The woman's knees gave way. She almost fell. "Salamat po, salamat po." As the camera slowly zooms in on the rusted bicycle, a narrator's voice fades in. Sometimes, the loudest cries are whispered, and the bravest people ask for help only when love leaves them no choice. The woman sat on the edge of the road, still holding the bicycle like it might disappear if she let go. One biker gently handed her a cup of warm coffee. Dayan lang po," he said. "Take your time." She nodded, but her hands wouldn't stop shaking. After a long silence, she finally spoke. "May malit po kaming buhay daddy. We used to have a small but happy life." Her voice cracked. They had once owned a tiny repair shop in a quiet barangay. Nothing fancy, just enough to survive. Her husband worked day and night. Her mother cooked for customers. They laughed. They ate together. They were poor, but content. Then one night, everything changed. May dumating po na mga lalaki. Some men came. They accused her husband of a crime he never committed. False papers. Fake witnesses. Within days, the shop was sealed. Their savings were confiscated. Their house was taken. She swallowed hard. "Sabi nila, kung manahimik kami, mabubuhay kami." They said if we stayed quiet, we would survive. That same night, her husband kissed her forehead. "Alagaan mo si nanay," he whispered. "Take care of mother." He walked out. He never came back. The bikers felt a chill run through them. "Hindi ka nag-report?" One asked carefully. "You didn't report it." She shook her head slowly. "Sino po ang lalaban sa may pera at kapangyarihan?" Who can fight people with money and power? Now, they live in a rented room barely bigger than a tricycle sidecar. Some days, they eat once. Some days, not at all. Yesterday, her mother fainted from hunger. That's when she made the hardest decision of her life. "Hindi po sa gusto kong magbenta." I didn't want to sell it. She looked at the bicycle. "Pero ito na lang po ang natira sa amin." It's the last thing we have. One biker clenched his fists. Another looked away, fighting tears. This wasn't a sad story. This was a crime buried under silence. The episode ends with a heavy line from the narrator. The bikers didn't say much as they rode behind the woman. She pushed the old bicycle slowly, apologizing again and again. "Pasensya na po, malayo po." "Sorry, it's far." They followed her into a narrow esquinita, children playing barefoot, laundry hanging on broken wires, the smell of fried fish that made the stomach ache. She stopped in front of a small wooden door, paint peeling, lock half broken. "Dito lang po kami. This is our place." Inside, the room was almost empty. No table, no fan, only a thin banig on the floor. In the corner lay her mother. An old woman. Skin and bones. Her breathing was shallow, lips dry, eyes barely open. "Nene," the daughter whispered, kneeling beside her. One biker felt his chest tighten. "Gano na po siya katagal na ganyan? How long has she been like this? Hahapon po sayang nahimate. She fainted yesterday. There was no food. Not even rice. Not even water." One biker quietly turned away and wiped his face. Another pulled out his phone, not to record for fame, but to remember. To make sure this would not be forgotten. They rushed to a nearby sari store. Rice, eggs, canned goods, bread, a warm meal cooked right there, on a borrowed stove. As the old woman slowly ate, tears rolled down her wrinkled face. "Salamat, Salamat," she reached for her daughter's hand. The bikers stood in silence. This wasn't poverty alone. This was abandonment by the system. Before leaving, one biker whispered to the others. "May mali dito. Hindi ito accident. Something is wrong. This isn't just bad luck." He recognized the names she mentioned earlier. People who had done this before. As they stepped outside, engines starting one by one, the narrator's voice fades in. The bikers didn't go home that night. They gathered under a flickering streetlight, helmets on the ground, faces serious. What they heard wasn't just a sad story, it was a pattern. One biker searched quietly. Another made a call. The name she mentioned came up again and again. "Hindi lang pala siya. She's not the only one." By morning, they rode together, not in anger, but with purpose. They stopped in front of a large concrete building. Security guards, tinted windows, a shiny sign with a respected name. The same name that destroyed her life. Inside, the man laughed during a meeting. Outside, lives were broken because of him. The bikers didn't shout. They didn't threaten. They waited. When he finally stepped out, one biker calmly spoke. "Sir, may atatanong lang po kami. Sir, we just have a question." They showed him documents, names, dates, photos, witness statements. His smile faded. "Hindi neo alam ang pinapasak ninyo," he warned. "You don't know what you're getting into." One biker replied softly. "Matagal na po kaming nandito. We've been here a long time." Phones were recording now, not for drama, for truth. Other victims came forward. Small shop owners, tricycle drivers, vendors. The man realized something terrifying. He wasn't facing bikers anymore. He was facing a community. By sunset, his lawyers arrived. By night, the story was spreading. The episode ends with a heavy silence and a final narration. Morning sunlight poured into a small barangay street. For the first time in weeks, the woman woke up to the sound of rice cooking. Her mother sat up slowly, holding a warm bowl of luga, tears quietly falling into it. "Mainit pa, it's still warm." Outside, people were gathering. The bikers arrived, this time without roaring engines. Just smiles, quiet respect. They didn't bring money alone. They brought documents. The false case was dismissed. The seized shop, returned. The corrupt man, under investigation. The woman covered her mouth, unable to speak. "Hindi po naman hiningi lahat ito." One biker smiled. "Hindi rin po naman ito ginawa para sa amin." We didn't do this for ourselves. Days later, the repair shop reopened. A simple sign was repainted by neighbors. Children watched as the door rolled up again. Her mother sat nearby, healthier now, smiling at customers. The old bicycle leaned against the wall. Not sold, not forgotten. A biker pointed to it and said, "Hawag mong I benta. Don't sell it. Paalala yan na lumaban ka." It's a reminder that you fought. As the bikers rode away, the daughter bowed deeply. "Maraming salamat po, sa pagbabalik ng buhay namin." Final narration, slow and gentle.